Hey team, Browncoat here from Koru-Cottage, and welcome to our review for the LucidSound LS41s. Now I'll say right from the get-go, I'm going to use the LS41's mic as the mic for this entire review. So that's going to be essentially the mic test. Just bear that in mind. And remember, if you enjoy the review, please give us a like or a subscribe. It'd be awesome. Alright, let's dig into it. Radio, so just a really quick rundown on LucidSound themselves, because they're new to the gaming space really. Launched in 2016 by Chris Van Hooven. I'm pretty sure I ballsed his name up, but he created Triton Gaming Accessories and then sold that to Mad Catz, then went on to start LucidSound. And his overarching sort of idea was he wanted to bring the aesthetic of like Beats by Dre, but spec'd for gamers. And he wanted to put those two together and create headphones which were perfect for the gaming space. The LS41 is the replacement for the LS40, so pretty logical sort of a step, and is basically the same headset with a few minor changes. The LS41 2019 is like LucidSound's flagship 7.1 wireless model, and it's price pointed at around $199 in the US, $299 in Australia, and I'm picking it in New Zealand it's going to hit that $330, $350 mark, something like that, but that hasn't been confirmed yet. For this review, I'm going to approach it in chunks and have timestamps below so you can jump to what interests you. First, I will do an unboxing and the features as advertised so we know what's what and what's on offer with the headset. Then I'll do a good, bad and ugly as I experienced it with my PS4. Then a summary and rough comparisons to the other headsets in my collection, particularly the Arctic 7s, which are on par in terms of price and quality. So, unboxing and features, what have we got? Well, first thing you do when you rip it out of the box, you'll see that the guy is right, man. He is trying to channel Beats by Dre. It's got that sort of clean finish. It's got pretty refined sort of appearance. If you're looking for RGB lights and big cans and that sort of stuff, you aren't going to find this shit here. They are more of a classic looking headphone, and me personally, I prefer it. In terms of the actual technical features of the headphones, they are 7.1 DTS, Headphone X surround sound, wireless. They've got the quick access controls on the side, which are pretty unique to LucidSound. They're tough, so they've got metal built right in across the headband and around the cans. And then they've got the dual mic system. So they've got the pin mic if you're using them with cell phones via 3.5 cable, or you've got the removable boom mic. Then there's 50mm drivers inside, and as I say, the 3.5mm jack can plug into your phone. Also, it's needed for Xbox Live chat if you're using it with the Xbox. But the 7.1 surround sound is kind of what pushes it into the next price bracket, so I'll just touch on that. It worked out of the box with my PS4, with a couple of audio output settings that I had to change in the PS4 menu. It takes like 2 minutes, and there's a YouTube video that explains how to do it, and away I go. The EQ button on the headphones is what allows to cycle through the different modes of the headphones. So there's stereo, there's gaming surround, and then there's boosted surround. And essentially the gaming surround and boosted surround are both using the digital surround sound processor. It's just they muck around with the channels slightly, and I think from memory the gaming surround is more of your normal sort of surround sound system, and then boosted surround picks up the bottom and top end channels and gives them a bit more zing. The surround is all coming from a little 7.1 dongle which plugs into the front of the PS4 or PC or Xbox, and it's got to have the optical cable coming out of the back and going into the side. So that's where your audio signals come from, processed by the dongle and is sent through. If the input is stereo, then it toggles back to just a stereo setting, but the processing can still take place to allow for super front, super wide processing, so it can push the channels apart digitally and all that sort of stuff. There's a small beep every time you hit the button, so you're under no illusions of where you're up to, and it even prompts with the surround sound. It'll go stereo surround, gaming surround, So it's easy to use. So the surround sound sounds good. Obviously it's not true surround sound in the sense of having speakers dedicated to each channel. It uses digital hocus pocus to trick the brain into hearing surround sound, and it does work, and very well. But like every other surround sound headset that I've ever used, it has a feeling of sort of smearing molasses over the audio. It's just sort of slightly less crisp. You lose that stereo crispness. It definitely sounds like surround sound, but there's a compromise of losing that intrinsic definition stereo sound offers on a binaural soundstage that headphones are. But the LS41s offer both crisp stereo and very clever surround sound, so everyone can be happy. So I just want to be clear, it's wireless and 7.1 on the PS4 and PC. It's wireless 7.1 on the Xbox, but it needs the 3.5mm cable on the controller to have chat. And on the Switch, it's only a stereo gaming headset just via the 3.5mm cable. So there's nothing trickery fancy there. Okay, so as I said to you in my intro, I'm going to sort of bust this down into sort of good bits, bad bits, ugly bits, because otherwise, you know, you could have a review that's 20 minutes long. So the sound quality is excellent, and I cannot deny that. It's easily on par with my SteelSeries Arctis 7s, which won countless gaming awards in 2017. The LS41 is essentially identical in frequency response and impedance characteristics, and it has bigger drivers. There is a great depth of bass with a clean top end, very tight sound stage. It feels very close, and it has plenty of volume to spare. The quick access mute, volume and chat controls on the side are brilliant. Like, they are just so easy to use, and there's no mucking around trying to find them on the back of the headset or something. It's just there. It's just so clever and so simple. I don't know why no one's ever done it before. The chat and volume mix and side tone and mic monitoring is perfect. No PC apps tuning needed like my Arctis. It's all on the headset, and it all just works. The build quality is top notch. The metal headband interior parts are steel. It's nice contrast stitching, and it's got big massive soft ear cups. What I mentioned before, there's no silly RGB trash lights on the side of it. It's just nice and refined. The wireless setup is fast and easy. It's basically plug, turn on, go. It doesn't stop the audio passing through to the TV when the dongle's plugged in. So like my Arctis 7s, you have to unplug the USB dongle, otherwise the PS4 won't send the audio through the HDMI to the TV. With the LS41s, all just stays plugged in, and all you have to do is just turn your volume on the TV down, and it's passing through into the headphones anyway. I love the small quality of life things that gamers want. The little light on the mic to show when you've muted. It's not, new for this particular headset, but it's there and it's important, and it makes life better. 15 to 20 hours of rechargeable battery life charged through a micro USB. Brilliant. I never had any trouble with getting over 15 hours of it, no problem. The quick mute and the shut off game audio on the sides. So if you want to talk to someone, like when your wife walks into the room or something, or if you want to take a phone call, it's brilliant. You just touch that whole button on the side. One side mutes the mic, or the other side mutes the game audio. It's great. It's so simple. And then separate 3.5mm jack and little pin mic, so you can use it with your cell phone, like walking around the street or whatever, with the boom mic unplugged. Looks great.
Get to the door. Here we go. Ready? Oh, hi.
Okay, so the next thing to touch on is the bad and the ugly. So the bad, pretty minor things to be fair, but there are a couple of things. So the swivel on the headset, where the can rotates between the in the headband, is a weak point, I reckon. It is metal and it seems pretty sturdily made, but it is small, and the intersection of force between the headphones and the headband, if it was given a hard time, potentially that could cause issues. But if it's looked after, then I can't see it being a problem. The next one is pretty subjective due to head shape, but I'll have to admit I've got a bit of a buff head, and the clamp force was pretty tight and it took me quite a while to get used to. That said, after a week I didn't notice it so much, but initially they did feel like they clamped pretty hard. And then the final one is the chat volume, at least on PS4 Party Chat, changes the side tone volume. Didn't actually make any of the party members any louder. I had to go into the PS4 menu and change the chat settings to increase the party volume. All the volume adjustment for the microphone was doing was just basically making my side tone louder, which is still a good thing to be able to adjust, but I'm not sure whether it's a miscommunication in terms of labeling, saying chat volume, whether it's my chat volume, or I kind of took it that it meant that the chat of the party who I was in, it would make that louder, but it didn't seem to be that being the case. It was more adjusting me and how loud I was in my own head. So anyway, that's just a small thing. And then the ugly, and like I'm being even pickier here, and you could probably tell I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel, but the USB dongle changed shape between the LS40 and the 41. So the 40 was a solid, looked like a USB stick, but it had problems fitting into the PS4 Slim and the PS4 Pro for some reason, just wouldn't fit quite right. So they've changed the dongle and it's got this wee extension cable out the front of it that plugs in. And hey, great, works, plugs in, no problems, fits, but it kind of hangs out the front of the PS4 looking like a tongue or something. Like, it's just a wee bit ugly. But, you know, it serves its purpose, does its job. It looks a bit untidy, but, you know, that's it. I told you I was being picky, and it's a small price to pay for it to actually be easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to do a bit of a summary here. I primarily play with headphones on console. I have had Turtle Beach, I've had Sennheiser, Triton, Sony Golds, which I had for years, and then I've had various SteelSeries headsets, and then most recently the Arctis 7s, and then these LS41s. I can say with confidence that the LS41s are the best set of wireless headphones I've owned out of the lot. With respect to sound quality and ease of use, absolutely. But there is a qualification in there though. As comfort wise, I still think the Arctis 7s are a better fit for me comfort wise. They just fit better on my head. But a lot of that is familiarity as well, so it's quite subjective. The Arctis 7s really are a PC headset being shoehorned in the console space. There's a lot of quality of life stuff they just don't have on the console, which the LS41s do. The Sony Golds, they, in terms of console integration, are hard to beat. They are perfect for the PS4. But then they're a budget option because the sound isn't quite as good, I don't think. And they have a terrible microphone, and I just don't know why Sony hasn't fixed that. But anyway, they are kind of your budget version of these headsets, in my opinion. So, long story short, the LS41s are now my go-to wireless gaming headset on the PS4. They are well made, they've got brilliant control systems, the quality of life options that they've put in there are so simple, but it's just good that they're all on one headset. So often when I was looking at headsets, it's okay, what one's got this, what one's got side tone, what one has got surround sound, how does that get changed, can I use them with my cell phone, all that sort of stuff. If anything, I would have liked to have seen Bluetooth maybe put in, so then you could actually use them wireless with a cell phone, but that's probably being nitpicky, because really these are a core gaming headset and they are really well made. So I would absolutely recommend people consider having a look at them. Alright, well that's enough for me. I hope you've got something out of the review. If you've got any questions, please jump in the comments below and fire away, because I'm still using these all the time and I'm happy to answer any questions you got. And remember, swing past Koru-Cottage.com and check out the rest of our stuff. Alright, Thanks very much.